I've always wanted to own a studio, ever since, I guess, probably since I started, not since I started photography, but since I started needing to rent studio spaces. I pretty much started using other people's spaces almost soon after becoming a photographer. And I hoped one day to be able to do it myself. And I just saw the potential of doing what other photographers were doing, and which is running it out to other photographers or videographers. And I just wanted to have a space for my own.
So I am a person that invests in myself as an artist. So in order for me to do that, I had to buy supplies, and I could not store them in my home. So, and plus I have a studio that's maybe less than a mile away, but it's easier for me to create in my sanctuary. So I wanted to be able to access all my materials, be able to create when I'm home. I think the pandemic inspired that, because I know when everything got shut down, then I was able to still create.
So for obstacles, luckily for me, I did this with other people. So the creation of this studio wasn't even my idea. I was approached by my business partners, PSCM Imagery. They wanted to go get a studio, and they knew what I did in my work and that I was interested as well. So they reached out to me about collaborating, and so we joined forces together. I think the biggest issues we had were finding the right spot for us. There are different retail spaces for rent all over this area, but it was about finding the right space, the location, the cost, and really almost like if you're looking for a home and you don't want to build, it's about finding something with good bones that you can really build upon. And so for us, that was the biggest issue, finding the right spot that could tailor to what we wanted to do.
Some of the obstacles I faced was trying to figure out, well, I actually happen to live in a community that has flat land, basically. But I had to figure out where it was going to sit, if it was going to inconvenience me or my neighbors. I didn't really have to get permits because there's like a size limit to that, so I was okay on that side. But I had to get a foundation for it. But other than that, there really wasn't an issue. It was more of what style that I want, where I wanted to get it from, how I wanted it to be built. Tenacity is what made it possible. My determination is what made it possible. I mean, I just literally, the thing about me, before I make a move, I do a lot of research. I do a lot of Googling. I try to see whatever options I have. And then I had the idea of just getting a workshop. So people have disrespected me on many occasions and call it a shed. It's not a shed. It's actually in a workshop. It actually was built from the ground up. And I just wanted to make sure it was comfortable. I wanted to make sure that when I was outside in it, I was safe. I felt safe. Even though I'm on my own property, I wanted to make sure I felt safe.
My biggest advice would be to first do your research. Make sure it's something that you're going to get your money worth. I think personally, I mean, there's different ways to use studios. You can have a studio because you want to shoot in there all the time, or you can have a studio because you want to use it yourself for an office, or you want to actually be able to rent it out to other photographers, videographers, content creators. Figure out what you want to do. Get a good business plan together. Figure out how much money you want to spend and how much money you have or want to get to invest into the property. What else? Figure out if you want to do it on your own, if you want to go in with somebody else and do it, because it's a lot of work behind the scenes to make everything run. It's more than just getting a space. It's you have bills inside of there. It's you have to invest in furniture. You have to invest in painting, all kinds of things on the inside to make it look like what you want, and to also make it appealing for other people who want to come inside and use it. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of behind the scenes things. So you can do it. Just be willing to do the work, and ask other people. There are people coming to us who know we're putting this together and asking what we had to do. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask other people. Don't think that you have to keep it quiet. I mean, always, I think moving sounds a little bit, but don't be afraid to ask other people. There's some people who will be tight-mouthed and won't share the information with you, but there are a lot of people like us who will tell you what we went through, what we had to go through, our lessons learned. So always be willing to ask too.